Nival_Lenyon has claimed first. For this stream.
Let's go gambling! Let's go gambling! Let's go gambling! Let's go gambling!
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Now let's get this bread.
Good morning, Yan pals. Happy Friday morning, buddy. Hope you all have a wonderful day so far. You found, that pat. Sorry, the head back on me off guard. I was expecting something else. Usually people start off by throwing things at me. They don't start off by head patting at me, but I do appreciate that. That being said, hope you've all made it to the weekend. Congratulations, or at least bow. Okay, well, there's the balance out there. Yeah, you've all at least made it to the last day before the weekend. If you have to make it through the I'm expecting exactly. Yeah, so some of you might have to make it through a morning work shift before you get to your weekend, but the weekend is you're in the home stretch to the weekend. That is the important thing. That being said, it is currently 9:05 a.m. The West Coast Best Calls on. You're very expected, exactly. I got the roll count a sec, but it is currently 9:05 a.m. The West Coast. Yeah, 9:05 a.m. on the West Coast Best Coast. Why can I not talk this morning? Probably because I kept getting hit in the face with too many things at once. On Friday, July 11th. That being said, because it is Friday, y'all know what time it is. Let's roll a fun clip.
It's Fun Friday, you fucking losers. It's Fun Friday. It's Fun Friday, you fucking losers. It's Fun Friday. You fucking losers. It's Flat Fuck Friday. It's Flat Fuck Friday, you fucking.
Happy Flat Fuck Friday, everybody. Shout out to the Gators Daily for that one. RIP their Twitter account, but I think they still do some automation. But yeah, hope you all having a wonderful Friday so far. Getting close to that weekend for everybody. Now, that being said, let's do a quick bit of a roll call here. Speaking of everybody that we have, let's say congratulations to... Who the frick? Congratulations to Nival for being the first. Good to see you as well. Happy Friday. I call this a little bit... Oh, this is a call for... I mean, hey, fuck, I don't know a good way to segue that. But, yeah, we're all kind of, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I don't really know where I'm going with any of this, to be fair. That's kind of the normality for you guys should be used to that by now. But congratulations to Nival holding the first, and good to see you as well. Also, Yidishil, good to see you. Good morning. Well, good after. I guess good whatever the fuck time it is we are, because y'all are Europeans. And then let's see what else we got here. We also have Vespera. Good to see you for the first time as well. Welcome to the show. Well, stream. Welcome to Happy Friday morning to you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for tuning in from Searchers community as well. We also have Evan, the goat. Good to see you as well. Thanks for popping in. Good to have you with us. And I think that I get everybody. That looks to be it. But yeah, welcome to all of you. Now, speaking of warm welcome, there's a very special person in this room today that I am very excited to have back with us today. It is our special guest of the day, the lovely Serchu. Welcome back, homie. Thanks for joining. How are you doing today?
Who, me? Hello,
Couldn't be anyone else but you.
Twitch chat!
Hell yeah. God damn it, Nivel.
Hi, I'm doing so good. It feels so good to be back. Thank you so much for the warm welcome back. Everybody has been so
Absolutely.
sweet. Oh,
So happy to have you. I missed the hell out of you,
it's-
homie.
Thank you. Yeah, like I miss everybody in the streamer space. Like I met so many like cool people. You being one of them.
Aw.
And
That makes
like it's
right back at you, homie.
Thank you. Like it's everybody's been so sweet. Everybody's been so like great. Everybody has been like so supportive. And like it really means a lot because during my hiatus there was a time when I was like, what if I just don't come back? What if I just quit streaming? And it's now that I'm back in it, it's such a crazy
Hell yeah.
thought to have. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking?
But believe me, I've been there too. So it's like I definitely know that feeling. But like once you're at least now, yeah, once you're back, you don't really have to worry about that anymore. Thankfully, like yeah, it's what was I going to say? It's the whole thing of like, you know, once you get back settled into it. Well, for one, it's kind of like riding a bike. You never really not learn how to do that. You never really unlearn how do I turn off buffering? Probably try setting the stream quality to a lower level, like 720 or 480 kind of thing. If you're on a less stable connection, this crazy train runs at 1080p 60 all day every day. But yeah, for one, am definitely glad to see you back and up and running again. There was definitely a I was gonna say a both big and small Serchu shaped void at the same time.
Okay.
I call it the pint-sized powerhouse for a reason, chat.
And they call you Nyanko Penko Tenko Turkish Angora Culinary Cat Girl Yapid Fire Extraordinaire.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Who said that?
Crunchy Taco came up with it first. I pilfered it from him like a year ago. Allegedly, anyway. But no, it's an honor to have you back. Like, you honestly, like, you know, I personally just I honestly just love, you know, like high energy streamers like yourself for one thing, because it's hard to have a bad time when I'm hanging out with like, you know, you or Super Sprinkles or like anybody else like that. It's just like, you know, you're just so like energetic and uplifting. It's just like it's just fun. It's like
Thank you.
you can't. It's hard to. It's impossible to like join you in a stream and like, you know, not have fun and you're not bored.
Thank you.
Not really interesting in your own way. Don't worry. I don't mean that like
it kind of goes to what you were saying, like kind of what we were talking about before, like when we were doing setup, how like streaming is an outlet for you, right?
yes.
Like it in a way, like I relate to that because it might surprise you, but
No, of
I'm
course not.
maybe it will, maybe it won't. But
Mhm.
I'm not the same on stream as I am in person.
No way.
Maybe after you get a few drinks in me, right? Like, but like I try to
You're
behave
actually shorter.
when I'm off stream. And so like being loud and yeah, right? That was like so fucking funny. You're like, no way, what? No, but like on stream, like I like that I can be loud. I can be like so bounce off the walls like gremlin, like fucking bitch. Like I love that I can be that on stream because
Especially if you're spaced out supports that. We also thank you for the hydrate to Nivel. That being said, when a hydrate happens, we both consume the beverage. That being said, what is your beverage of choice today?
Oh, I'm kind of lame. I have water, but I guess like a fun fact is I have like
Hell yeah.
a 64-ounce water bottle that I just keep on my desk.
Oh, do you
because
do
I
the
drink a
thing
lot
where
of
you like
water.
have to down the whole thing throughout the day?
I I try to, but like because I talk so much, I just drink a lot. Especially during stream. I drink the most during stream, and I'm so lazy. I don't want to have to like get up and refill a glass every time I run out of water.
That makes okay. Good thing you said I don't want to have to get up and refill the water bottle. That could have gone a completely different direction. That I don't think we need to really elaborate on, but most people will kind of assume where that's going. But see, here's a weird. I'm kind of hey, Nicora, good to see you as well. Thanks for popping in. Evan says, when you're off stream, do you still need a ladder to reach the corner? Oh God.
Okay.
But, here's the weird thing.
I have a step stool and a step ladder and a ladder for various things.
Help me, step ladder. I'm stuck.
Oh, shut up.
Here's the ironic thing, though, is that like I find that I don't know. This is probably just like not necessarily a metabolism thing, but maybe just because of like a runoff of because I've been like used to running events and shit. But like, despite how much I talk on stream as well myself, and like how long I stream for, I intake a surprisingly little amount of hydration myself. Like I've gone through a point where like I'd buy sometimes before stream I'd buy just like a small iced coffee just for the hell of it, and like today I just bought a large because it was on sale, but usually I get like a small like cold brew or something. But and like it's tiny ass cup. It's like I don't even know if it's like 12 ounces or whatever the hell. I barely even got like through half of it in like my usual stream sessions on this, and it's just like or even like I go to stream for like 6-7 hours during regular overnight stream, and like I'll open a can of pop. Well, technically a can of sparkling water with extra flavor. And I'll run for like 6-7 hours. I'll barely get through half of it, and it's just like of a single can. That's including like the redeemed hydrations as well. Just be like, I don't know. It's I go in there anticipating that I'd be like downing a whole can by the end of stream, and just like I go and barely even finish half of it. I was like, what? This is not what. This is not how the human body technically functions. I don't know.
Would you say you're built for hardship? Because
I'm built for hard one way or another.
Okay. Yeah, expose your
That's
Twitter.
my secret, Cap.
Expose this motherfucker's Twitter. You see that?
People want to expose a lot more than just that.
It's on brand for this guy.
Allegedly,
but
anyway.
Like, I think like people who don't drink a lot of
That
water
quenches.
and like they're still fine, because I'm assuming you're fine. Like you don't really get headaches. You don't really like feel nauseous. Like you just don't have
Honestly,
like a general
no,
sense of unwellness, right?
Yeah.
I feel like people who live like that they're like hardy people. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like you can like survive
Oh no, I get you.
harsh
We're like succulents.
harsh environments. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was thinking like
Succulent Chinese streamers.
military people, I think like are like the type of people that come to mind who can
That makes sense.
survive without
Survivalist.
water, without like any, I don't know,
I'm like a camel.
necessities. Yeah, you're
Basically.
like a camel.
It's all stored in my butt.
Camels are okay.
My humps. My lovely lady lumps.
So like I wonder, like, do you consider yourself kind of like built for surviving harsh environments?
I mean, I have come from a background of running like anime conventions for 16 hours a day. So that's been kind of and I'd survive every day. Yeah, I'd survive each day on nothing more than an Arizona and a granola bar. and somehow still be and like barely even 6 hours sleep and still be able to function like throughout each day. Which is, and I've been doing that for like 15 years, so it's been like kind of just used to it. But now speaking of anime conventions, though, I know you and a bunch of other people that are also in the streaming space recently attended a certain event in California that a lot of people may be familiar with. You want to give us a bit of a rundown of how that went for you? If you're up for it.
It's just a tiny little get together called Anime Expo.
I may have heard of that. every now
Oh
and
yeah,
then.
you may have heard of it. It's just an itty bitty, no big deal.
A little. Oh, yeah.
Little convention called Anime Expo, and man, I don't know where to start with talking about Anime
Whatever
Expo
you like.
because I like did so much, so
Mhm.
much. I think like if there was one thing that I wanted to talk about,
Welcome back,
with
Neville.
my Anime Expo experience, it's that
Mhm.
this was the first year that I went with the lens of being a streamer, a content creator.
Oh,
This
interesting.
is like, yeah, because like before, I've been to Anime Expo multiple times before, but this was
Mhm.
the first year that I went with
As a
like
streamer.
my experience. Yes, yeah, like with my experience as a streamer, and I
Mm.
didn't go to Anime Expo with the mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna network, I'm gonna like say hi
Yeah.
to as many like other stuff. No, I didn't go with that mindset.
Yeah,
But
you just wanted to weeb out and have fun.
right, exactly. And but it still, I guess, like colored my experience, not in a bad way.
Oh, yeah.
In a way that I thought was like really cool. I was just observing like how other content creators like carried themselves in this space, like
Mhm.
with way more experience, right? I don't know. That's like something that I'm very
I mean,
aware of.
considering how
in
tall
terms
you are,
of-
literally anybody can carry you.
Okay, shut up. I consider myself like a very observing person. I
Mhm.
don't know if I should go if I can go so far as to say observant because like I miss a lot of details, right? But I like to observe things, people, events, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
I was definitely like watching how
Kind of like the
other-
David Attenborough of anime conventions.
and like I just kind of like narrate inside my head, like I
Observe the weeaboo
I-
in the
I
natural
take- I
habitat
take
of the
notes.
convention panel room. The
Yeah,
cosplay
like-
contest, the gathering of the craftsmanships.
It was so different. It was so different.
Mhm.
It was so fun, and I learned a lot. Shout out to Kyoko Coco. She was kind of like she was kind of like my extroverted umbrella that kind of, I guess, like taught me a lot on it's not like she sat down and was like lecturing me or anything. I was just like
I
watching.
may have had a little bit of experience doing
I
British
was watching her how she carried herself, with how she networked, how she spoke
Mhm.
to brands. She like it's so incredible. She got like
Let's go
interviewed
gambling!
with so many brands, just talked to, because you have convention experience. I don't need to like explain this to you, but
That's fair.
when we were at the expo hall with all of the corpo all of the corpo booths, it was like incredible watching her go around, how she carried herself, how she spoke to these brands, and some of them like were like, hey, like, would you want to be interviewed, like, are you interested in sponsorships? They just it was so eye-opening. And then when we went to the GamerSupps booth, a lot of VTubers kind of orbit around the GamerSupps booth. It's kind of like the unspoken,
Interesting.
like VTuber. This is where you'll see other VTubers, big and small.
Which is a little bit ironic
Um,
considering the previous the previous the Cinder happenings, let's put it that way.
It's crazy how like she was like partial owner before the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And the booth had nothing. It was like they had nothing from Cinder. No
okay.
no
Of Cinder specifically.
products. Right,
Yeah.
like no products, no graphics, none of that. It's kind of scary how she just disappeared. And
Kind of like that
like,
whole
I kinda-
Stalin photo thing.
I guess so. Yeah. Like I don't want to get into it too much because like I don't
No,
believe
that's
in
not
like,
that's not why we're here in the first place.
right.
Like,
Like,
I just happened to mention it as an aside. It was like,
right.
but at the same
yeah.
time, like, good on them for willing to be, at least for being willing to take action. That, you know, if they had left that up, that would not have been a good look for them. With that many like VTubers showing up to the con as well, for one thing.
Yeah, and like they are. I don't know. Like I don't really want to. There. I just want to focus on like the other VTubers.
Yeah, exactly.
As well. Like
It's a rendezvous point, not necessarily like you're there for the booth itself kind of thing.
And I thought it was like so incredible how a brand can be used to bring people together. I think that's like something that I really appreciated was like how community comes together. Conventions are just such a like great way for communities to come together. That's like something that I learned. Not just through like brands like GamerSupps, but like through meet and greets that can be sponsored. Like GamerSupps did a lot of like sponsored meet and greets. But there were like informal ones too. I'm just gonna keep gushing about Yoko Coco. She's like so awesome.
Absolutely.
She did like her
You know
own.
We can shout her out.
What?
Would you like me to shout her out?
Yeah. You
How do you spell?
She's on hiatus right now. But let me just.
Seems to be a common trend for a lot of us these days.
I know, but she has a really good reason.
Now, speaking of shout outs, before we do that, I'll give a shout out to our lovely guest here that I have right in front of me. So there's that for you as well. Exactly.
Thank you.
Please feel free to drop the lovely Sirichu a follow while we're on the subject of that. That being said, speaking of follows, congratulations on breaking 1,000 followers on the purple here on Twitch as well. You definitely deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you
not
for doing that.
I'm not very good at like celebrating myself. If I'm being honest. So like
No, it's never
milestones like
too
that.
late to start.
I know it's. Vespi was just telling me the other day, like, girl, with all due respect, you need more self-respect for yourself. And I'm like,
She's not wrong.
You're so right. You're so and I'm trying. So I'm trying to like celebrate milestones like that. I'm trying to like be happy for myself. So
You
thank
should
you
be
for
happy
that.
for yourself, homie.
Thank you. But like I think like with my back to the Anime Expo thing, I was like very shy. I mean, I became a VTuber for a reason, right? I like the anonymity it affords me. But after my experience with like seeing how meet and greets were run, not just the sponsored ones for like the big creators, right? But
Because
like,
there's also like
how-
Ilara's what was it? Oh, the TrueTuber. Yeah, TrueTuber, and there's also what the VTuber research that Hanako had a hand in as well. So I know there were a couple other ones there as well.
Yeah, like these smaller ones, these like smaller meet and greets, they're so cool. They're so awesome, and it's like so inspiring. It kind of like gives me the confidence to be okay with being out there and meeting people from my community.
See, here's the weird thing though, is you never struck me as an introvert. Like, if I had to be honest.
I think I'm an ambivert. I have
That would
elements
make
of like
sense.
being I think I have elements of being introverted and being extroverted. I'm very loud, but I am very shy. But once
That's
you
fair.
like kind of bring me out of my shell, I'm like very excited to just like interact with you. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, I get you. Like, I'll be honest as well. Like, I've noticed lately as well. Like, because here's the thing as well. Like, especially when you're in spaces where you can relate to people. Like I've been able to relate to a surprising amount of people in the VTubing space myself. But when you're in a space that's more like out in public, where kind of like you don't really know anybody. You don't really have a very obvious common ground off the bat. It's kind of just like, how do you really interact with anybody in a way that's like, properly engaged? It's like when I go to like those I was gonna say like Christmas parties kind of thing, where it's like you don't really know anybody there or whatnot, or you just like public space general where there's a lot of people gather, but it's like nobody's really there for a specific reason kind of thing. Just like it's just I'm just much more reserved in I guess in like a general public setting when I don't really know anybody. It's just kind of like it's it's almost the polar opposite of how you see me like here. But also when I do a lot of like when I'm interacting with Like I'm just glad that I don't work in a customer service position anymore. But it's just like, I don't know. It's well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious to say that it's hard to interact with people in a space where you don't feel natural, or comfortable, I should say. But
I think that's normal.
I get where you're going though, because like I can come on stream, come here, and just be, as fucking out there as I want to be. But like in person, it's one of those things where it's like, if it's not socially appropriate at the time of it, it's kind of like, well, what the hell do you do? And so it's like, that's one is like, well, is there really any point at that point?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
because you want to be considerate. You don't
Exactly.
want to like you don't want to like intrude on any other people's space.
You don't want to bring attention to yourself in a way that you don't need to, kind of thing.
Exactly. Like I think that's just a sign of somebody who is considerate of others, like, but is also like aware of like who you are.
Yeah. Which is nice where we have outlets like this where we can literally just be ourselves without having to actually hold back.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can be as like loud and unapologetically gremlin,
yeah.
but like
I love it.
in a professional setting, I'm like, hi, yes, like thank you for calling. How can I help you today? How's your day going?
Yeah. Just do an entire stream in customer service voice.
I'm not sure the answer to this, but let me get back to you on that. I'll let you know. I'll try to get an
Let me
answer
put you
to
on
by
hold
the
while I
end of
consult my
day.
supervisor. I've worked at the call center before.
Oh,
I know.
I'm so
I know
sorry
that.
to hear that you've been having a terrible experience with our product. Just give me one moment while I connect you to our supervisor, and they'll be able to further assist you. Bye. And, like,
Right.
as soon
I
as
completely
hang up, it's
understand
like,
your feelings.
Bitch, fuck you. You suck. You're such a
Yeah.
terrible.
I only lasted about 6 months at a call center before I GTFO'd that place as soon as possible.
It is soul draining work, but if I'm being so honest, I think it was also like really good life experience in a fucked
It definitely
way.
builds the experience, even if you don't enjoy it. That's the thing. I mean, yeah, it builds the experience and it takes years off your life at the same time. So it's like there's a bit of a trade-off.
Yes.
I love people. I fucking hate customers, though.
Oh man, and like they're never calling you. You're already at a disadvantage because they're already in a bad mood because they never call.
Nobody calls
For a
customer
good
service
reason.
like when they're happy.
Right, like they have a problem, and
Exactly.
even if both sides are trying to be patient with each other, it's still a very it's a delicate like emotional balance.
It's like a game of verbal chess.
Yes. I got pretty good at like comforting people and being like, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I'm gonna do my best to help you. Is that all right with you? Like I'm gonna like I've learned how to like reassure people working in customer service. And that was also how I learned that I have a really nice speaking voice.
Fuck yeah, you do. I love it. It's very bright,
thank
very
you.
cheerful, and like I said, it definitely contributes to like to just your like uplifting streaming experience in general, because like it combines well with your personality.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
So you have just a great, like, very positive presence in general.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. I try.
No, you deserve it. But yeah, to wrapping up the expo discussion. Last point we left off is that's the thing as well. It's like I wouldn't have gotten a lot of the like the performance experience that I would have gotten without like running panels and stuff that I do. But I guess just being a bit of an older convention an older con goer myself. I find it's a bit hard. It's getting more difficult to relate to the general people on the floor. Like I find a lot of the time what I do, especially when I'm in convention staffing. I know it's sounding a bit pessimistic considering this like the roundabout discussion with the nature of the discussion we just had. But it's like I do a lot. Like I'm totally happy just entertaining people. Like I'd show up doing my panel and whatnot, and I can speak on a stage in front of like 300 people, no problem. But like after that, I just get like I don't really like hang out with anybody that's on like the general floor. I kind of just go back into my staff area and just do whatever I need to do next. But it's just like, but like in general though, actually, a lot of people that I know, SakuraCon in Seattle. I know a lot of people that I haven't been there since pre-COVID. Last one I went to there was 2019, but like, Like, well, I know a lot of people there for one thing. It's like I guess it's like if there's people I already know there, then it's just like there's not a problem for it. But at the same time, though, as well, like considering that everybody that I got to know through, through VTube, if I were to go to Animex, which I would love to do like next year or something, is like I'd actually know quite a few people. I would know quite a few people there already that it wouldn't seem like a completely foreign experience to me. That being said, though, speaking of knowing people at Anime Expo, thank you so much again for wishing my friend at the BB Sama booth a happy birthday. You were.
I didn't even tell him who I was. I literally walked up and I'm like, "Are you the blonde Korean man working this booth?" And he was like, "I think so, yeah."
I love that I didn't even give you his name. That I didn't think to do that.
And I was like, "Nyanko sends his regards. Happy birthday!" And he was like, "Oh my god, thank you."
The Lannisters send their regards.
Yeah, and then I walked away. That was it.
Just walked away.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little bit bad about just like doing that because I actually.
Oh, he fucking loved it. He messaged me afterwards.
Really? Their products are actually so fucking sick. Their embroidered bomber jackets were so fucking cool, and I'm so glad that I'm so sad. I'm so sad that like I didn't check out their products before doing that because I was so embarrassed that I didn't have the courage to go.
Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But I do appreciate you stepping up and doing that for me, though. Fun fact: you're actually the only one. You're only out of everyone that like I had tagged and whatnot. You're actually the only person who actually followed through on that on that request. So I appreciate that even
I'm
extra.
crazy enough to do shit like that. I
love that.
If I'm emboldened by the flames of anonymity of like VTuber anonymity, like I'll fucking do it. But
no, I didn't even tell you who it was either. He's just like, oh, thanks for sending that person to wish me happy birthday as well. That's literally just what he said to me.
Yeah. Like I didn't even tell him who I was. I didn't even tell him like I didn't even like stay there and chat with him. I just wanted to like
dropped it and left.
I dropped the package and then and then I bounced.
Payload delivered.
I sent you a message afterwards too. I think I was like, package has been delivered or something.
Yes,
like,
exactly. You did.
Yeah. There was like another mutual that was like.
I was gonna say side point is that that guy was actually that guy was literally the best man at my wedding. I've known him for like 15 years. So that was why, like, I kind of knew his whereabouts. That's why I like kept track of his whereabouts. And like when I knew he was going to be like Anime Expo's rep, I was like, hey, let me just try and summon as many VTubers as possible to just bombard this guy with birthday messages, like, without expecting it, because like it just happened to be like on time just after his birthday.
That's crazy! I had no idea.
Well, hey, I never told you who he was either.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I like doing stupid shit like that. Like, I'm sorry.
That.
I don't mean like stupid as in like it was a stupid idea.
I get
like,
you. Don't worry.
Silly fun like interactions, like
same.
meaningful interactions. Like I know somebody who was like doing a concert at Anime Expo, and I literally found out like the morning of, and I'm like, fuck, I need to go see him. And so, oh man, bless his heart, he was like performing like outside. The stage was outside.
Interesting.
He was cosplaying as his like character, which has like a jacket and a scarf, and I'm like, oh my god,
in fucking LA weather.
In LA
summer?
weather, which to be fair, it was like actually the nicest it's ever been in years. It usually gets to like, what is it in Celsius? Like 43 around like that time of year.
Wait,
but it was more like 20.
Did you say 40? Wait, are you thinking of Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Yeah, Celsius. I was trying
43 Celsius is like hotter than Australia.
Hold on. I need to double check now. It's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
I was going to say like 43 Celsius is like where you get in the middle.
38.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
I was like, you get a heat stroke, and that's like Saudi Arabia territory, and like if you're pushing the
Right,
40s.
sorry. No, it gets like 38, 39.
That is still pretty freaking hot to be wearing a jacket and a
really
scarf.
hot, but luckily it was only like 25, maybe 26.
Okay, that is much more reasonable.
Yes. But it was very sunny, so it's still hot.
Oh yeah, because of direct sun, and yeah, you get the
Yes. And so like when as soon as I showed up, I just started like, I mean, me emboldened by the flames of VTuber anonymity, I had a fucking light stick that you have at those like idol concerts.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah, woo! And
I
he
love
was like
that.
doing like anime covers. One of his songs was the what's it called?
Mm.
Bling bling born. The one that goes
I would
like,
know myself.
you don't know that one? I
No,
know it's like really
unfortunately.
popular, but I kind of knew
I am
the
very out of
dance.
touch with the culture of the kids these days.
No,
Not
that's
gonna
like
lie.
so fair. But he was like, if you guys know the dance, please join me. And I was like, okay, I think I've seen people dance.
Let me just look it up
to
real
this.
quickly.
So yeah, and so like there's literally a video of me on Twitter, like looking at other people and being like, okay, I'm gonna watch how they do it. I'm gonna follow along, and it was like so fucking fun.
I love that.
And I just love supporting other people. I love supporting other people. I love like hype. I love gassing up other people. It's so fun.
it makes two of
I
us.
love seeing them like get so excited and like re-energized and like super hype. I like celebrating that one. Yes, bling bang born. Thank you. I like seeing people get excited about projects and supporting their projects.
Oh fuck yeah, that
It's
makes
so
two of us.
inspiring. That's fucking human, you know? That's like, it's human as shit, and that's like the shit that I love.
Hell yeah. I totally agree. I totally feel that. Like, when people are able to fulfill their passions, and like, you can help be a part, like for you to be able to help being a part, like not even just to be not even just to be a part of that, but also like in just like helping push them to do so as well, kind of thing. Like, yeah, I get you. It's rewarding, and like, it's just good to see. Like, that's kind of the reason why I do a lot of like the like the one of the things that I like doing in the space is helping people kind of find their full potential, and like that's the reason why I like doing a lot of like the audio stuff that I do. It's just when just somebody just has the opportunity to like when they have something that they're really interested in, they really want to kind of see through and like are passionate about. It's like you kind of just give them that helping hand in a way, and it's like it just feels rewarding.
Yes, like diffusion of knowledge is also like such a human thing to do, and it like collaboration, diffusion of like knowledge and wisdom. It's so prevalent in like the content creator space, and I think that's just so fucking awesome. That like you have something that you can pass on to other people. I'm one of them. I'm a beneficiary.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I'm honored that I
like,
can be a part of that too, because you were one of my earliest audio clients too.
it's so. I mean, like I don't know if you think so, but I really like the quality of my audio right now. Like it.
I'm really
It
I'm
is-
really glad that you do.
It's
And
so.
like I said, I'm glad that I can be a contributor to helping make that happen.
You were a big contributor to that. At the very
Aw.
least, you taught me
I'm
like
glad that I
what
can be.
tools were there, and then like I kind of like took it and kind of ran with it to like learn more about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, because you
not
actually took that a bit
everybody-
further than I had given you as well. You actually went and you set up a you even went and like EQ'd it yourself as well. And like I think it sounds really good for what you did.
Thank you. Yeah, and that kind of mentorship, not everybody gets that. You know? I mean, like I say that I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased, but I didn't have
No.
that growing up. I didn't have like somebody mentoring me. I didn't have anybody helping me. I was like very much
Yeah.
like a self-sufficient kind of person.
You kind of had to
Growing up?
learn how to be.
Right. Like nothing was ever taught. Everything was learned. That's kind of like how
Exactly.
my childhood can be described. And
Right.
as I got older, I learned how fucking toxic that was for me.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was basically
like,
the survivalist mentality.
yeah, like it was really toxic. And
Mm-hmm.
as I got older, I realized that
That's
like
right, because it does kind of mean
okay
though. I'm glad to help you too.
to ask for help. It's okay to learn from other people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay to do incremental growth. To like incrementally,
You don't have to know how to do
improve.
everything at once.
You don't have to be perfect from the get go. Like I am very much like I have a very strong tendency towards perfectionism. But like streaming
Side
has
point,
been
it's
so
just why we're
good
cursing so much because we fucking can.
because we can, motherfucker.
Fuck yeah, we can.
It's a free
Exactly.
space. Woo!
Hell yeah, motherfucker!
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Love that. But anyway,
But, like, yeah, what was I saying? Incremental, like, letting go. Streaming has been so good about letting me let go of perfectionism and
yes.
value incremental growth,
Mm-hmm.
incremental improvement, like just honing your craft. Streaming has just been that
Exactly.
way for me. And so,
Which is a little bit ironic on my part because I've been trying to. VTubing has actually led me to become even more of a perfectionist myself, at least in terms of my presentation and whatnot.
I think it's okay to like want to
Yeah.
strive for it.
True.
'Cause you just want you care. You want things to be a good product. You want your content to like have a higher quality to it,
Mhm.
right? And that's why I think like content creating is actually pretty good.
Hey,
for
Crazy Man, thanks for joining us as well. Good to
I don't
see
know.
you.
It can be a double-edged sword because like if you're
This is true.
if you're too much of a perfectionist, then you'll get too much anxiety about it and you won't put it out. But like forcing yourself to put out content despite it
Don't
being
clip that out of context, Chad.
imperfect. What?
Never mind.
What? What'd you say? Johnny!
Forcing yourself to put out.
Hi!
But that too.
Crazy Batman! Good morning!
Thanks for popping in. Nice to meet you. Hope you enjoy your stay.
He's one of my favorite mutuals. He's
Oh, I love that. I'm glad you're having him with us. But I just want to say as well, like, on the topic of you do make a good point on the topic of the incremental thing, because, like, and it's definitely a learning experience along the way. Because for one thing, like for what my setup, not only just the hardware, but also just the streaming presentation, the software side of things, like. I know my model itself is still the same. Well, I mean, I did have a tracking update done to it, like earlier in the year. But my model itself has literally been the same model that I've had for over a year and a half. But have I learned how to use it differently? Like throughout the time, definitely. Like the general set, the rest of the general setup that I have, like even if a couple of the core assets, like my main landing background is still the same background they used after my debut, but like the rest of the setup in general, like as a whole, is drastically different compared to what I ran with and how I used it, like back when I first debuted it. So it's like. But I didn't have all the knowledge and not only did I not have all the knowledge and experience to actually get it set up to that full extent right away, but also the programs weren't running. The programs didn't have the same like updates and features that it did back then as well. And I didn't have certain knowledge of like, hey, you should actually make your model like, fucking huge on stream to people actually see it in the thumbnail. I didn't have that kind of. I didn't have that kind of wisdom as well to have us be as large on stream as we are now. Because the biggest mistake that people do in the first place is they put their model like, fucking tiny in the corner when nobody can see it. But the problem is a lot of people, because they're scrolling on phones and shit, or even just scrolling the page itself, they're not going to see that model in the thumbnail. You got to have the thing like, full frontal and center, maybe not center, but at least like have it visible and like properly. They got to be able to see in a thumbnail, be able to be interested in joining the bigger picture. Not everybody watches from a desktop in the first place. So it's like, those little things where it's like, yeah, I'll go for exactly.
No, don't say that.
Too late. But
in front my salad? Really?
Seriously, I was just gonna go with that. Literally, but yeah, it's
As long
like
as it's not in front of the kids, right? Like,
especially not in front of the kid salad. But
right?
exactly. But yeah, like the especially for oh god, but no, like those little bits of wisdom, those little bits of wisdom that you learn along the way, it's gonna be like the presentation that you have down the road. It's gonna be the culmination of everything you learned up to that point, and you're not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna have all the knowledge. You're rarely gonna have all that knowledge going into it, or nor is your setup gonna stay the same from that point onward. Like it's never gonna be just this. It's never gonna be exactly the same as it is like down the road. Even one thing that I just did to like kind of tweak it, like little tweak but still effective, is that like recently a month or two ago I set my Fugi overlay on the gaming screen to have transparency so that people wouldn't. It wouldn't block out, because I want to put the one problem that I see a lot of people do with collab streams specifically is when they have other participants in their stream. For one, they don't have the name activated on the little Fugi overlay, but they also don't. They keep the overlay. The Fugi overlay is usually like super tiny, and maybe like somewhere off to the side of the screen or something, where it's like you can't really. You just don't. You can see there are other people in the stream, but you can't see who the hell they are or like what they look like or what they're talking about. Me, I like to, I like to make that nice and bold and like, well, for one, I use the group overlay, so it's all automatic. And like that's the thing is like some of the things that they will take time to set up in the initial part, but it'll take a while to set them up, but it'll be worth it in the end because you barely have to touch it that point forward. And that's another nice thing about my setup as well. It's like, a lot of it is kind of just automatic, and I don't have to do a lot of configuration. Like that's one of the reasons why, I do so many collabs on a regular basis as well, so even weekly, just like, it's very little thought process, very little mechanical manual, very little manual work to have to do to set those up, because everything just kind of runs automatically. And so it's like, but
a lot
yeah,
of front-loaded effort to like streamline the workflow later down.
Exactly. And it's like, that's the kind of thing where it's like, this is kind of the trope of like, hey, Feathertail, thanks for popping in. Aw, we both look beautiful to us. Yada yada, I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's like one of those tropes of like, doing more work in the well, I guess maybe not necessarily a trope per se, but it's effective because it's some people are too lazy to they do more work through the manual action because they don't take the initiative to do a large amount of work short term to do less work in the long term. If somebody gives me a task to do it like repetitively, instead of just like doing it the same thing over and over again like as intended, I usually try and find the best way to like either make it more efficient or automate it as much as possible. So I'll be willing to do more work to like set up to figure out a process to make that happen than I will be like that'll just make it super easy in the longer. But yeah, sorry, that was totally a side thing. Is that the main point is like make your fucking Fugis bigger, people. And like, put the names on them and shit, so people actually know who you're playing with. Because it's not like, sure, I know it's your stream, but you're in a collab with other people, and you want people to know who those people are. It's not all just about you, especially when you have people joining you. But yeah, a lot of people, what they do is they make because I want to feature, I want to feature the people who are taking the time to join me in my collabs and whatnot. Is like, I put the whole Fugi overlay front and center, and recently what I did is to make it a bit more non-intrusive but still prominent is I added like I think a 50% transparency or something to it, so that people can still see who is joining the stream while also still being able to see what is happening from my perspective. So it's not and even the same thing with like my alerts and my other overlays and all that fun shit is like, sure, it all still happens, it's all still there, but it's like it's not blocking anything. And so it's like those little things like that is just like I don't quite, it's like that is knowledge that I don't have, or that is a little thing that I did not consider you know, earlier on that I just kind of like, I didn't think about that till like I was already almost over a year into streaming. And it was like, you know, it's one of those things where it's better late than never. So it's like, you know, even if you didn't think of it back then, sure, you thought of it now and you're improving yourself at this point forward. And it's just like, you know, it's not a big, it's better to, you know, it's better to implement it late than to not implement it at all, especially when you know it's possible, but just decide not to do it.
Right.
So it's like you're doing yourself and your viewers are better for the long run. Side one says, for everyone in this hour, just don't trust me, is not changed. I mean, this is kind of on my part as well of like, you know, I heavily curate the people that, even though I'm like, you know, kind of a fairly, that I will, you know, just fairly kind of just young people, no, not necessarily that I'll young people willy-nilly, but like I will, I don't need to know somebody for like, you know, X amount of months before I decide to do something on stream with them. Because I find like, you know, I am fairly quick to kind of grab people, but I also feel I know how to read people pretty well. So I do also heavily curate, you know, the people that I collab with in general. So it's like I kind of have enough trust in people, especially when it's other streamers and whatnot. And so like, you know, they have enough on the line that if they go ahead and if they decide to fuck something up, that you know puts my stream at a bad light, that totally goes on them. And so it's like I kind of trust them not to do that. But yeah, I can get it if it's more like casual people, like non-streamers that you play with that might have that might be worth that might have that risk. But yeah, at least for me that I found that like I haven't had to really worry about that so far. But yeah, it all depends. Yeah, it does really depend on like how much you trust people for one thing. Both ways. So, but in the, like but yeah, back on the main topics, like yeah, you know, this whole setup that we have right now as well. This whole idea kind of came up for the studio setup on a whim, and so it's like that just kind of spun off from like a productivity stream that I kind of planned at one point. It's like, you know, because I used to for my old interviews that I did before this, it was still the same like title and everything, but like it was a much simpler setup. It was a more traditional like quote unquote VTuber interview setup where it's, you know, 2 models, a table, a couple of microphones on the table, and that's kind of about it. And you're still in like your regular environment. But now it's just like it was like that how this studio spun off. Exactly. Like this whole studio idea kind of spun off from when I started doing, you know, little productivity streams. What I had on the back, you know, what I had in the background was kind of more curated like audio playlist that was running on an actual like a radio program. I'm like, well, if I'm doing this anyway on this format, let's kind of try and take it in a old. It's like people were tuning into it just to kind of like hang out and listen to the music and whatnot, and just kind of chill and like be productive. So I'm like, you know, if people are tuning in for this and they'd rather tune into this than like, you know, the actual radio, let's kind of just take that a bit more of more of like a radio prominent direction. That's kind of how I also kind of took the whole radio thing and ran with it a little bit further, and that ended up culminating into, you know, having my interviews happen in what is essentially a makeshift than a you know, virtual representation of a radio studio. And like I wouldn't have that idea.
You started streaming, like you didn't know you
really
wanted to do this.
No, definitely. Like I know that I had like the vocal presence of like, you know, the kind of the radio style aspect, but I never really knew how to make it like I never really knew how to make it a more prominent like the visual. I never really know how to tie in like a proper visual element on top of that. I guess the thing is like I guess it's like, yeah, thank you for looks at that thing. Thanks for tuning in as well. Happy Friday to you. It's like I knew that there was an element of my presentation, but I never knew how to really translate that into a theme, if that makes sense. And it's like this scene actually makes it a proper theme as opposed to just, you know, being there. Because like I said, the previous interview setup was very makeshift, and it was really just like, let's just provide the core elements for what the setup is, for the sake of like, you know, at least making it exist, like making it presentable that you know what's happening. But like, so it was like it was just there, but it didn't really have any. There wasn't really any like design. Well, I mean, there was design behind it, but it wasn't really like it wasn't really playing into any of the rest of the overarching theme of my streams. Like on a proactive basis. It was kind of just taking elements I already had and just kind of making that into a thing. Whereas this, it's like, you know, it's taking an element of the stream that I had kind of in the back, which was the radio style presentation, and putting it front and center and making it a more of a focal point. And, you know, the guests come on as well. I've had a lot of guests that they're kind of taken aback by this. Like, you know, this is a completely new, like you can see, like, you know, other VTubers did do interview setups. They just, you know, they have their usual background, but they slap a table and a mic in front of it, and there you go. Whereas here, it's like, this is a dedicated, focused, you know, like, a
clear theme.
Interview spit. Exactly.
A clear setting. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with, like, my, I guess, like, I don't know. I guess with my content creating, I think I'm starting to get an idea of, like, what kind of content I want to create. But, like,
Do
the
tell.
theming, the theming is something that I'm, like, grappling with. So, like, it was very fascinating hearing you, hearing your experience with, like, how, like, you know what it is that you want to do. You just don't have the visual theme.
I had the concept, not the direction.
Right. So, I guess, like, I don't know. It's very fascinating. Like, that's kind of where I'm at. When's it my turn to like solidify my direction?
As soon as I start talking, I think of like 10 billion directions I don't want to take a conversation at the same time, but it's like, I got to pick one of them. Because I was wondering, like, yeah, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. You were saying you have like a billion directions. I'm like, nope, you're only allowed one. You can only have one.
One Direction. It's like the band.
Oh yeah. Didn't they break up?
I did not hear about that. I guess they all went their own separate directions. So it turns out there was really more than one direction all the time. All this time. Exactly. They lied to us. Their song. I hate when people do that. Classic Simpsons quote. Who needs the quickie, Mark? But anyway, because I was gonna say, well, actually, we'll get. Funny enough, we actually haven't gotten into the proper background questions yet for the interview itself, which I'm I have no problem with myself as well, because like I said, half the fun of this is just seeing where the conversation goes in the first place. But because like I was like in terms of theme, actually let's get to the they're going in exactly. I just said that, Evan. Yeah, so not to spoil it. Yeah, let's wait till we get that point in the question first, and then we'll tag on from there, because I do want to elaborate on that part, but also I don't want. Yeah, it's all good, Evan. But anyway, yeah, let's touch on that in a sec. Yeah, if we'd like to get the questions proper, let's get now that since we're getting to know a bit more about you and your character itself. That being said, let's dig into questions that allow us to elaborate on that a little bit more. So, are you ready to begin? Are you ready to begin after almost an hour? The Friday morning 2 for 1.
I'm so ready. Let's do this.
My body's ready. Let's do this.
It's the Friday morning 2 for 1 with Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Every Friday morning, we're bringing you double the VTubers for none of the price.
I'm not even selling shirts.
So let's get ready to meet today's guest, recap the work week, and say hello to the weekend.
Because the Friday morning 2 for 1 with Nyonko Ponko Tonko starts right now.
So, speaking of the lovely Sergio and getting to know her, I'm glad you like that.
Awesome.
Speaking of adding culture to the stream, exactly. It tends to kind of catch people. That also kind of catches people off guard a little bit, but not everybody has that either. Well, I'm glad that I'm one of the people that can. But then again, like, you know, it's one of those things where I didn't think to do. See, another part of the spinoff as well is like, you know, I can't remember if the alerts came before the radio style alerts came before the radio scene. I know that for sure. So it's like I kind of had an idea. I had an idea at least at that point of what my presentation was, of what I wanted to play off for the presentation, but I just didn't really know how to put that forward as a, as a visual element. And, so here we are. But yeah, so that aside though. Getting to know you more though, let's get to the basis. Let's drill to the core of who this lovely Searchu is. So we'll start off, of course, with the 5 W's. Who are you? What do you do? Where do you do it? And when? And for how long you be doing it? VTubing or otherwise?
Ooh, so who am I? I'm Searchu. So nice to meet you. If you don't know me yet, I'm high energy, mostly wholesome, a little bit of chaotic. I
And
guess
adorable
I'm
as fuck.
technically a variety. Oh, thank you. Variety streamer, VTuber. I really like sweaty games. I really like playing really difficult games like Souls games. That was like kind of like the start of my streaming journey.
Mhm.
But I think I'm doing like a soft rebrand where I'm gonna specialize in in virgin playthroughs, aka first time playthroughs. Okay.
Interesting. Souls before holes, so to speak.
Yeah, but I kind of want to like just pick games that are like notoriously difficult. So like I was thinking of playing like Cuphead, maybe Hollow Knight.
I was literally thinking
Expedition
Cuphead is the first
33.
one that came to mind too.
Yeah, like just like tough, really tough games. But I kind of want to explore other games as well. That's why I'm kind of like going under the variety umbrella. I'm kind of in a flux right now of trying to decide where I want to go with content creating. It was so much easier before when I just had a huge backlog of like, I want to play all the Souls games. And now that I've run out, I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do now? And I guess that's the who and the what. The where? Twitch.tv
Yeah, so
/Searchu.
where can people find you? Oh yeah, there we go. Sorry, I just talked over. Let me drop that again. There you go.
Thank
Follow
you.
me there, chat.
Yeah. I used to stream every day for a year, but like that was just mostly a goal that I was trying to like achieve. And now
But did
that,
you
like,
actually
I've
stream
achieved
every day
it,
for the whole year?
I did 366 days because it was a leap year.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, and I'm
Congratulations,
gonna
though.
cut back now. Everybody in my life, everybody who loves me is like, Searchu, for the love of God,
This is an intervention.
and all that is holy, please don't stream every day. And so I've cut back, and now it's only 4 days, which
Only
I still
4 days.
think is a lot, but I think the compromise
Fair.
is that
I went from 6 to 3 myself, so
Oh yeah, and that must have been hard on you. But
it wasn't honestly that bad. But it's like, would I do that again now? Not really. Because before it was
Really?
like,
You seemed so happy.
it wasn't necessarily. Well, I mean, I always. It's hard. Well, for one, I mean, for one, it's like the streaming in general is kind of my general outlet for being my I don't want to say it's not necessarily performative, but it's just like it's kind of my like my social energy outlet. So it's like it's kind of hard to I don't
It's
really.
important.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard for me to have a negative experience on stream per se. But like, and so just, I kind of bring the energy I kind of bring the energy of my stage presence that I did in like anime convention stuff into the streaming space. And it's just kind of like, so it's like, well, for one as well, you don't really kind of want to run a stream where you're just depressing people, right? Nobody's gonna enjoy that.
Right.
But
Right.
I mean, I do want to be. I mean, at the same time, I do want to be a bit more of a I do want to be a bit more of a realist, but like, I also don't want to. I don't want to be a. I mean, like, I want to do that, but I want people to enjoy it. That's also why that's also just why I have. I mean, the presence that I do in general, but not to say that it's not me, but it's just like this is me, like, this is me just enjoying getting to see people in general. But it's not necessarily that. I mean, it's not the being on stream part that necessarily I found it. It was more just like the making. Well, no, it wasn't even the making time. Well, I mean, the best way to put it is this. I had much more motivation and energy, and I guess commitment to trying around it as often as I could, like before my own hiatus as well. Because it was a thing of like, I finally have, well, I mean, because one thing, the streaming in general has been the best, the most opportunative outlet for my creativity that I've had in all like the hobbies and stuff that and all the engagements that I've had in the past. Like, and literally every skill that I've learned up until this point throughout the other stuff everything else that I've done, I've been able to cumulatively find a benefit in by implementing that into the streaming space. And so it's like that when I decided that I wanted to actually like dedicate time for it and get a proper model and whatnot, it was at that point, it's like, I want to see how far I can get with this during the time that I have available to do it. And that was for one thing why I ran, like the 6, almost 7 day a week schedule. As well for one, because, like VTubing models, especially when they're as detailed as this, are a fairly sizable investment. Any day that I wasn't streaming is essentially letting my investment gather dust and not making the most of it. So like that was also part of the reason why I was so motivated to stream as often as I did. But also the fact, like, you're not gonna gain as much. For one, you're not gonna have as much opportunity for visibility if you're the less time you're streaming. So that was more of like a, for me, that was more of like, the opportunity is there for you, but it's up to you to take it. So how far do you want to go with this? And that's why I was committed to streaming as often as I could, and trying to do as much as I could during that time. Before I ended up going hiatus myself, that everyone kind of already knows about. I don't have to get into that. But I'm in a similar position now where I'm literally, Friday is the only stream that I do daytime. Saturdays and Sundays I stream on the overnight. Usually about between 1 and 7 a.m. Hey, Patrick and Comet, thanks for popping in. Good to see you as well. Happy Friday to you. Nice to meet you. But yeah, I'm in a similar position where like I went from streaming.
Thank you for
Hey, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to Nampel. Hope you enjoy your stay.
Hello, new Neanpel.
Pleasure having you. But yeah, so I went from a thing of like 6, almost 7 days a week streaming down to 3. Yeah, because like the streaming, aside from the Friday morning, which I wanted to keep at least in my roster because I still wanted to stream at least 3 days a week. The overnight streams of like between 1 and 7ish, 1 and 8, let's say, AM Pacific time on Saturdays and Sunday mornings, it's the least intrusive times that I can run without taking away from like my daytime. So it's like I'm already awake during the overnight anyway. Let's so that's why, like, because I used to just sorry, I gotta throw in BRB. I gotta program football coming up, so let's stick around. Be right back.
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Now let's get this bread.
Let's go gambling!
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Tongo.
Now let's get this bread.
Okay, sorry about that, chat. I had to kind of take a bit of an urgent phone call there. Nothing that y'all need to worry about though. It wasn't like a medical emergency or something. It was medical. It was medical related, but not in that kind of thing. But it was important enough that I had to take it. So sorry about that. Why did that not show? Did the hand thing not show? Oh, it probably bounced off. Sorry. Let me just make sure we're all.
I saw it flicker through the screen. It was like.
Okay, that was the worst. Wait, sorry. What was the last thing we left off on was right. You were finding your No, we're discussing what kind of games you were what you were looking to do, what kind of direction you were looking to do it. I don't know if I was discussing a part myself. I don't think it was. It wasn't related to collab stuff. It was. Because you said you played a bunch of Souls games, that you finished those, and you're trying to figure out what to do after. Sorry, what was the? I can't remember the exact thing we left off on, but I kind of know the vein.
I don't remember either, but it was definitely you were discussing something. But we can just go on to the next thing if we can't remember.
That's fine, because I think it was probably related to because I know it was related to the type of the type of the games you wanted and the theme you kind of wanted to go with. Whereas because I know my thing, was it related to collab to collabs and stuff? I can't remember. Frequency. Sorry, it was the stream right. It was frequency. Sorry, it was me talking about myself again, which I apologize for doing way too much during interview streams. And it was because I went from 6 days. Yeah, that was it. It was I went from right. Okay. It was me streaming overnight. Yeah, it was me streaming overnight because that is the less intrusive, the least intrusive time that I am available to stream through. Because otherwise I'm up during the overnight. Because I don't I work an overnight schedule during the week, and so when I still only have the 2-day weekend, I don't transition to a daytime sleep schedule during my weekend because, for one, it takes an entire day to switch into the daytime schedule, and then it takes another entire day to switch back. So by that point, your weekend's already gone, and just it's not worth it for that. Which is why I just keep my overnight sleep schedule straight through to my weekend. And so that means that if I wasn't streaming during the overnight, I'd just be awake for 7 to 8 hours doing nothing. Because my wife would be in bed, and I know it means that I lose daytime time getting to see her on weekends, but it's I've come to the long-term realization that I just cannot work a day job. My body will not let me handle working a day job because I can go to bed at 6 just fine. I just can't wake up at 6 to be worth anything. It's if everyone's already asleep anyway, and I'm kind of just up doing otherwise doing nothing because I can't clean the house at 3 a.m. I can't work on the car at 3 a.m. I can't really do anything productive in a manner that wouldn't be intrusive, disruptive to other people. So it's might as well use this opportunity to engage with everyone else who's out there in the streaming space. Now, I know it definitely helps that I have my dedicated streaming space outside of the main house that is very well sound insulated, so I don't have to really worry about waking anybody up through that. Not everybody has that luxury though, so it's you can't there's no stream in a house with roommates or something at 3 a.m. in a shared space, and I kind of expect them to not care about that. That means I'm curious though, because I am curious because you being a very energetic person and a very very energetic and I don't want to say loud, but you're very vocal. Fair. How are you able to accommodate that in the space do you have yourself?
Interestingly enough, I haven't had any complaints.
Nice.
I think maybe I haven't lived here long enough for anybody to be like, "What the fuck are you screaming about?" I like it, ungodly hours. I haven't I don't know. Maybe they haven't gotten fed up yet, but I haven't.
Well, I mean, your voice is very nice to listen to. I'll say that.
Thank you. But not when I'm gaming, right? When I'm gaming, I'm like, "You fucking bitch! I'll fucking kill you!" In video games, please don't take that out of context.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft. You blow up my house again, I will fucking end you in your entire line. I haven't done any
3 generations of punishment.
Sound. Oh man, imagine, right? Yeah. I want to acoustically treat my room, but or I guess my office.
Yeah.
Because there are projects that I want to dive into that I feel
Yeah.
like it would contribute towards that goal. Um,
Mm.
but
That can all be honest
like
too.
to answer your question,
Hmm.
I haven't really dealt with it because it hasn't been a problem, but that doesn't mean I am not
Yeah.
working towards like acoustically
Oh, yeah.
treating my office. But it's not because I've gotten complaints. It's because it just happens to work out that like there are things that I want to do
Mhm.
that
It'll benefit your
aligns with
own
like
setup in the long run.
yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, because the thing is, it's like, the main benefit of soundproofing your, like disturbing everyone else less is only a side benefit. The main benefit of soundproofing your space is so that you get less echo into your own microphone and not and not the people around you.
Yes.
So like I can
I mean,
totally
I don't
relate
know.
to that.
I'm definitely the type to like try to be considerate.
Yeah.
I'm just
But
hoping
you can
that,
only be
like,
so considerate before you basically into like forced ASMR territory without your own.
right. I haven't heard any complaints from my neighbors, which is
Mm-hmm.
why I'm like, okay, if there are no complaints, then no problem. No complaints, no problem.
Yeah.
But like if they ever do complain, then I will just like accelerate the acoustic treatment process
Yeah.
that I was like planning on going through anyway.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. But yeah, it's that makes sense. Like, yeah, I was just curious because I know, like, yeah, the whole reason why I stripped out the shed in the first place was so because like I knew that I was not gonna. That was also another thing, as well, is like I knew that I was not gonna be able to express my full potential, so to speak, in a shared streaming space, in a shared living space. Streaming in a shared living space. After everything I put into this, so it's especially when it's like I've managed to make my, despite the fact that, of course, that surprise I look nothing like this in real life, that I've managed to make my
What?
voice. I know, right? The
You're not a
shocker.
Turkish Angora cat girl? Like-
Allegedly. But I've managed to make my voice into a branding point, but I couldn't do that if I can't use it, right? And so,
Right.
and so I kind of needed to do that in the first place in order to actually make that, Ow! But yeah, it's like I wouldn't be able to. It just, the situation just wouldn't work. Because I know a lot of people are in those similar situations where it's like they don't want to. The only reason why they're holding back so much is because they don't want to like bug their roommates and stuff. So I just ow. Oh, we got into the hydrate. Let's consume the beverage. Thank you, Evan, for that.
Oh, consume.
Yeah, and I appreciate the elaboration on that. But yeah, the right, yeah. So the just getting back on I'll wrap up my point as well, and like very quickly. But the reasons why after my hiatus that I went back, that I only went on like on occasional on a much more part-time schedule, so to speak. I went from 6 to 9 days a week to only 3, but I'd still try and make it 3 consistently. Is like I was also getting to the point where I could have come back and I could have gone back to like a 6-day schedule, but I mean, for one, I want to be more considerate to my wife, for one thing, to actually get more time spent with her, but at the same time as well, is like I felt that I don't know, my body just wasn't able to handle it as well as it was before. Maybe because it's like now another thing as well was I also like I only had a couple. The big thing was I wanted to see how far I can. The big reason why I was doing the push in the first place throughout last year was I wanted to see how far I could take the opportunity that I had, while I had it, and regardless, like just in any way that I could. But I wasn't specifically focused on I wasn't really focused on any specific like number goal or anything. That was necessarily large. So, or at least somewhat out of reach, and so the numbers goal that I hit, the numbers goal that I was shooting for, I've already hit it, just after the end of last year, even while I was on hiatus for one thing, which is kind of expected. But like any of the experience goals that I had, where it's the certain people that I wanted to collab with, that opportunities I wanted to do or have, like, you know, you have those like those, sometimes you have the big people, like, you know, certain people that you want to, that, you know, your dream collabs kind of thing. And, you know, or like dream engagements, opportunities that you had. 99% of those I was able to accomplish all throughout last year, with, despite the fact that, like, you know, I'm still, like, you know, roughly like just a little over 1,000 followers in general, compared to, like, basically the way I think of it is like I've had the opportunity to do things that, like, that a lot of people like 10 times my size can only dream of. And so it's like,
I think it's because of your audacity, and I mean that as a compliment.
oh,
Like, I think.
well, I appreciate that.
I mean,
Some people think it's my Adobe Audition.
I'm sure that helps too. But,
The Audacity,
you know,
the Adobe Audition, even.
When we first met, like I mentioned this to you when we were like first like hanging out and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're a very audacious person. Like, you're not afraid to just like trudge for, maybe not trudge
Oh, God.
forward, but like kind of like trailblaze.
To put myself out there,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, to put yourself out there. And I find that
I'm not
very
afraid to do things.
inspiring. Right. And I think
No,
like that's
thank you.
why you were able to achieve your goals. Like, you knew exactly what you wanted. And even though they were like, I guess maybe your stretch goals, you weren't afraid to work towards it. Whereas like a lot of people, they're kind of held back, like imposter syndrome, held back by doubt, held back by like a lot
I
of
have
mental
noticed a lot of
things
that for sure.
right. And those things don't seem to affect you, which I would consider is like uncommon to like not have those things affect you.
You did make a good point, because like I've always thought of myself as being like very self-aware of my own, you know, my own strengths, my own weaknesses, basically my own appeal in general. But yeah, I'm also like, I feel like I'm also kind of I'm also a bit in a way like the polar opposite of like because I mean, for all intents and purposes, like the stereotype, let's say the stereotypical VTuber / streamer is usually someone who is introverted, has some degree of social anxiety, is not very confident about reaching out to people or even in their own abilities in general. So you see a lot of people, they get the brainworms pretty frequently, maybe not frequently, but like they're quick to doubt themselves in their abilities. They want to reach out and hang with more people, but they can't bring themselves to do so. And they're probably easily intimidated by people too. So it's like, I mean, sometimes people can be unsure of themselves as well in general. That's why, like, sometimes sometimes see people being like, I want to make myself a better streamer, what have you, but they say like, I don't know what to do. I've never really found that I've never been in a position where I didn't know what I needed to improve. But at the same time, like, I know that I'm not I know that, like, I don't have the same appeal as somebody. I don't want to say you're more like typical larger VTuber, because I know that, like, I have my own niche limitations. Let's say that, but I don't see that as a failure of myself as a streamer in general, because like people are quick to the people that don't see those elements, they're quick to assume that, like, oh, just because I'm not growing at the rate that somebody else is, that I'm doing something wrong, or that, like, there is something inherently wrong with me that is preventing me from getting bigger. It's like, maybe you're just not appealing maybe you're just not appealing to the people that you think you do, but you're still appealing to somebody. And so it's like, I play certain, I obviously, and from what you can probably tell, is I sound a lot different than I look. And like, there's one point already there. I play a lot of more niche games than a lot of what other people do, which are more mainstream, which is another point there. I stream at weird hours compared to the people that are also in my usual like time zone. So it's like,
You're not
there's
doing the
another point
meta
there.
things.
Exactly. I also don't like, I don't. Here's the thing. Is like here's another thing too. Is like social media being a big thing for how we present ourselves like off outside of our stream time is like I try to keep it as organic as possible, which I know is also like when you're trying to get all that engagement, as much engagement as possible, is a bit counterintuitive. But like I'd rather at least try and present some element of genuineness than like try to make literally every interaction about making funny number go up. And so it's like I know that like I like when I compare myself to somebody else, it's not out of like I'll never be as good as them or whatever. It's like, okay, I can see how this person appeals versus my appeal in this particular regard. Here's how I'm different. Here's how they're different. That is not like that is I don't make that an issue. So it's just like that is why that is why like I never I don't know I don't get the quote unquote brainworms that a lot of other people do, so to speak. So it's like I don't want to say like I am confident enough in my abilities that I know what I'm doing, but I'm not like to the point of being like overconfident. But it's like
Right.
I'm very aware of what it is I'm doing.
Yeah, you're still very
Exactly.
introspective, I think.
Exactly. And so like and well, on top of that, like reaching out to people, it's like I call myself a serial extrovert for a reason. I'm not afraid to just like just put myself right. I'm not afraid to reach out to people, basically. And it's like does it always work? Of course not. But hey, at least I tried, right? And so that's how I've been able to a lot of my viewer base happens. I think I have more viewers who are also fellow VTubers than I do like general watchers, which is interesting. But it's like also same with my I was gonna say same with my own server. Is probably more more streamers than it is general watchers as well, which I have no problem with, because it's like those are more people that I hang out with, and especially because like as well with the with the reduced schedule that I have as well on top of that, it's like one of the biggest things that I enjoy about being in the streaming space is the ability to engage with people. Like I have this wonderful person in front of me. And so it's another social outlet that I have that is not like, it's not just like, jumping into a video with people or what have you. It's like, I'm going to become a Yoshi type. That's the thing. It's like, if you can't meet Yoshi, just become Yoshi instead. And actually, unironically, like, fun fact. It's funny enough that you should mention that. It's like one of the kind of philosophies that I had going into the streaming space is because I know a lot of people, they have their Yoshis, they have their role models in the VTubing space, and like they have somebody that they either try and emulate, or they kind of have the like unwavering support forward. Like nothing wrong with that. It's good to have like like mentors and role models and whatnot. I just found myself that I used to basically say that I am my own Oshi, in the sense that like rather than investing my time into support, like I mean of course I am more than happy to support other people if it helps them achieve their goals and whatnot. But for me it was like rather than focusing time on, rather than focusing my time in the space on somebody else who will probably never know I exist, I'd rather much focus it on improving myself and what I can do to make myself more, to decrease my own presence, so to speak. I know this may sound a little bit harsh for some people and like I said, not that it's a bad thing to support, just to have an Oshi to support. It is that I kind of just wanted to put the majority of my energy and my focus onto kind of just focusing on building myself up.
I think that's a good
which kind of where I took
perspective to
that.
have, because I think like it kind of puts you in an audience's perspective, which I feel like a lot of creators
Mhm.
lack. I feel like because what I like to do is I watch a lot of creators. I mean,
Yeah.
typically I stick to like mutuals and then like mutuals.
Oh, yeah.
That's like kind of like how I explore, right?
Yeah.
I watch a lot of different people and like I feel like generally creators are not creating for an audience.
Mhm.
Like I noticed this. I noticed that you seem to like care about the audience's experience as well. Like, for example, when you were talking about how Fugis are too tiny for people who watch on their mobile phones, and that was like eye-opening because
Mhm.
you're right. I think the percentage of people who are watching on their phones is like increasing.
Oh god, yeah. Like
And
seeing the more prominence
like
of vertical streaming for one thing, which is going to be the bane of my existence.
right. And I think it's fascinating to me that I think people who put in that kind of attention and care to the audience's experience, I think is actually they're in the minority. Um I try to watch other
Mhm.
creators because I intentionally try to feel like I'm an
Commonalities
audience
in
member,
what
try to
regard
get
does?
like an audience POV, and I want to
Yeah.
like see how I can use that experience to improve my production for my streams. So
Mhm.
it's just fascinating hearing you like talk about like, yeah, this is like what I do. This is like, and when you said that, fuck it, become my own Oshi. That's pretty
Yeah.
base. I don't find that arrogant.
No.
I find that like I find that that's you kind
Mhm.
of maybe this is not the right word, but like objectifying yourself, like
No, I get you. It makes
um,
sense.
right. It's like
'Cause,
it's
like-
not it's not super introspective, which I do think you're an
Mhm.
introspective person, but this feels more like
No, let's see this.
you are
Yeah, I'll
trying
get to it in a
to
sec.
put yourself in a third person POV.
Yes. 100%. Because like on touching on the Oshi thing, like because the big thing that I think of with that is you know, a lot of people when they have their Oshi, so to speak, they're one of the things is like oh, I wish I could be like this person. And it's like, you know, not only sure comparing yourself to somebody else is one thing, but like when you make them the example of like who you want to be, then you're not basing it on you know yourself. You're basing it on the standard of somebody else. And it's like rather than having somebody else as an example of who you want to be yourself, why don't you just make yourself the kind of person that you want to be instead of that?
I would like to present a counter argument.
Go for it.
For devil's advocate.
Absolutely. Or
And
devil's
this is
Oshi, so to speak.
definitely this is devil's Oshi. I find myself and I'm definitely I'm gonna acknowledge that this is like biased based off of my own personal experience.
Yeah.
But I find myself, my authentic, genuine self, to
Mhm.
be an amalgamation, like a Frankenstein's monster of
Mhm.
aspects.
The Frankentuber.
A Frankentuber of like
Mm.
people I look up to, like, oh, these are the qualities of this person that I really admire. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that. This is an aspect. This is a quality of this person that I really admire and respect. I'm gonna take that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna aspire to be like that. Do you find that to like be unoriginal? Or do you still stand by like, oh, like you should strive to be your own original person instead of striving to be like somebody else?
Well, no, that actually does not conflict, and I'll explain why.
Hmm.
Because like, if there is a specific individual who has been the biggest inspiration for for how I present myself. Sorry, Vest. I'll get to Vesper in a sec. After I finish the point, but like there is a certain individual who is the biggest inspiration for how I present myself both on stream and on stage, and it's going to be somebody who nobody expects. So so like because like over time I've definitely tailored my my public speaking presence, not just like it wasn't always obviously in the radio specific direction, but it was stemmed from a certain presence from somebody that I always found enjoyable, but I didn't make it like as much as I was inspired by it. I didn't essentially try and skinwalk that person, if that makes sense. But I'll let you try and take a guess as to who it was. The answer may surprise you. I will give you a hint though. It's actually not somebody within the VTubing space.
Oh shit! Like I was actually brainstorming, and I was like, "Is it this VTuber? Is it that VTuber?"
Well, who are you thinking of?
I was thinking Alara, or maybe like.
Well, I mean, I did meet Alara after the fact. I actually did not know who Alara was until maybe like the summer of last year.
There was another VTuber that I was
Oh,
thinking
we do
of.
love
I can't
Alara this channel. I will say
name.
that. She's actually one of my primary audio clients now too. I'm technically her sound guy.
Sweet.
I fucking love Alara. She's awesome.
Shoot, I
But
can't
yeah.
remember the name of, but he's like the blue-haired bartender.
Oh, Takahata?
Takahata, yes. So that was gonna be another guess.
I also was. Now that being said, I also Vesperman is I fucking love. Yeah, fucking love Saint Cisco for one thing. I work with Saint Cisco a lot as well. Well, not at work per se, but I've done a lot of streaming. I've done a lot of streaming activities worth there too. But I'm gonna Takahata. Fun fact: Takahata is actually somebody that I knew for a while before I got into VTubing because we both did stuff in the local convention circuit together. So that's actually how I knew him. That's actually how I. But yeah, but I do always want to disclaimer that by saying that I'm nobody special myself. It just happens that we just knew each other from the same place at the same time. So the fact that I had him the fact that I had the opportunity to have him on my channel both for a gaming stream and also for an interview stream, is in no way anything that I'm like putting forward as that I'm somebody like bigger than I actually am. We just happened to share a convention experience together for a few years, but I actually did not know.
Was another person that I was guessing.
Oh god, that guy needs to fix his fucking mic. I will say that there is a very prominent buzz whenever he speaks.
I think it's so funny. But I meant mostly like the cadence of like how he speaks. It's like
he is very radio style as well. I will say that he is also one of the because I was looking to try and find people that are also of similar. Speaking style. And it's like he is definitely one of the who I would classify as like, radio style presentation is very few. He is definitely one of those people. I will give him that credit.
Yeah, but see, like all of those, the common thread there, all of them VTubers, and you said not a VTuber. So
now, because the fun fact is, I actually didn't know Takahata was a streamer until I didn't know he was a VTuber until after it was already until like actually pretty much about the same time that I discovered Alara as well, which is wild. But yeah, in terms of the inspiration, let's see. You're a fellow 90s kid?
I will not. I will not answer the question.
You don't have to elaborate. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to like get a bit too personal with that. If that was the case.
What?
I didn't mean to get too personal with that. If that was involving too personal.
I'm just a very private person. So like
that's what I get. Like. No,
that was
that's
no question for me.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I like I said, I didn't mean I didn't want to get a territories that you weren't comfortable answering. So that is totally fair. But I don't know if let's see. So I don't know if you may know who they are. I'll give you another. I will. I guess another more generalized hint that I can give you. Adult Swim. You know the network?
Yes. So not Toonami?
Not Toonami, no.
Not the Robot Man Tom? Because you kind of have a Tom presence too.
Him, I actually don't know, but I don't want to drag the. I don't want to. I don't want to drag speculation longer than I have to. Stephen Colbert. Do you know who Stephen Colbert is?
Yes. Oh.
Stephen Colbert was the biggest inspiration for my for my my stage presence and my stream presence. Like, because I grew up watching, The Daily Show, The Colbert Report. I was literally born in 1990, so I grew up watching the Daily Show, The Colbert Report, and then and also a couple of years back, Harvey Birdman, Turning at Law, where he was Phil Ken Subban. Everybody get in here. And so I watched a couple of his things when he moved to doing late show or whatever late night talk show is the one that he does. I think it was Late Show, but yeah, his so I never really had the mindset in mind before I got into streaming of I want this to be specific radio folk. It was more I wasn't modeling my thing off of a radio show. I was modeling mine off of a talk show. And so I found that Stephen Colbert and I have similar vocal ranges, and because I watched so much of him growing up. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad. But it's a thing of I make an effort to kind of provide the Colbert style speaking presentation without literally being Colbert, if that makes sense. Right. To the point where you wouldn't have guessed it if I literally hadn't told you. But I can tell you can already see the similarities.
He's because his work is conducive for both solo and dialogue based content, I guess is the best way to put it, Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, because he's got a lot of the because he's got a lot of the segments where it's as per standard, as per tradition with either a late night talk show or even just the way that the Daily Show and whatnot were formatted was there's a lot of speaking just to the camera, and then later on in the show there's speaking with with somebody else. Right.
So you kind of get that both dynamic where it's in streaming space, there's a lot of you just speaking to chat, which in a way emulates kind of like the TV viewers, and then on the same you get the streams of multiple people where then it's now you're bouncing off somebody else kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh wow. I also love Conan O'Brien.
The more you know. I can't say I've watched too much Conan, but I definitely appreciate him and appreciate his manner of presentation too.
Yes. I don't know. They're just also and I can kind of see what you mean by not just on camera, but off camera too, how they carry themselves. Oh yeah, I see it.
And I appreciate they do, because that's the thing is and that's what I mean is that some people get so caught up in using their Oshis in an all-encompassing example that they basically want to have the same experience as their Oshis did, but then they kind of lose focus on their own individuality. Yeah, because it's one thing to be like somebody, but it's those people that. If everybody wanted to be like somebody else, then nobody would be. There would be no individual. Because the people that have gotten big themselves. Let's just throw some names for example. Shy Lily, Zentrea, whatever the hell have you. I honestly don't know enough larger VTubers that just come to mind off the bat. But it's those VTubers, for example, they did not get to they did not get to where they are simply by emulating somebody else. They're known for being who they are because of who they are in it, in and of themselves. I I mean, because for one thing, it takes the first person to set the trend in the first place, if anything,
Yes.
trends at all. And
I think
so,
Shy Lily
yeah.
was definitely the one who like popularized puppeting, like expressive
Yes.
puppeting.
I
of
remember the
5PD.
signature clip that explains that too. Actually,
Yes, I'm pretty sure that was like her well, at least that's how I found her, was like her
Yeah.
talking about puppeting. Even if she's not the first to do it or to like
Yeah.
think about it, she definitely popularized it. And like she does a
Definitely.
lot of good things too. Like there's
Oh, yeah.
definitely a lot more to her content, but I think that was like her unique contribution
Mhm.
to the space. And like Zentrea, TTS,
Mhm.
TTS, and like also her branding of being like a cyborg. I hope I didn't. I hope I like got that correct. But like that was like kind of her unique.
I can't say no enough about her to really be able to
contribution.
confirm or deny
Right.
myself. Sorry.
Right. But the point is that like
Yeah.
they emphasized what was unique to them and leaned into
Exactly.
like their own personal I guess like decisions to what kind of content creator they wanted to be, right?
Exactly. And so it's like you can take them as inspiration for, certain elements that you want to do, but what's more important is trying to find what's unique to you and, building that up. And so because the big thing is, if everyone and I mean, sure, there are people who I mean, I think it's a bit of a deviation from a current point, but it's like, there are people who they see somebody else who was already popular and they're like, I want to do everything similar to what they're doing because I know that's what people like. And it's like, no, that's what people like because they were doing it in the first place. They didn't take something that somebody already liked and gave them more of it. They made something that people didn't know they liked until they gave it to them. And that's kind of one of philosophy that I go by as well myself. It's like, I'm not because like this is something that I just, as part of everything that I do, both inside and outside the VTubing space, I'd rather appeal to people's curiosity than simply. I guess the phrasing is I'd rather be interesting than cool, because interesting means you're appealing to people's curiosity, whereas being cool simply just means that you're pandering to their appeasement. And so it's like, because if you're cool, quote unquote, then you're fitting somebody's pre-existing standards of what they've already found interesting. But if you're interesting to somebody, then you're appealing to a sense of curiosity that they have, that you have something they don't know about yet. And so when you're offering something that is already established as being, as being cool, then it's just like, well, you found something that you can do that a lot of the bigger people are already doing. That's not really gonna get you anywhere, except from the people that are already into that kind of thing. But when you find something
devil's
unique,
advocate
Go for it.
this scenario, because this kind of goes back to what we were discussing earlier with like
Yeah.
incremental growth, incremental
Mhm.
knowledge, learning, obtaining wisdom.
Yeah.
I think I'm of the belief that it's actually okay to imitate
an
other
extent.
creators to an extent, obviously. Like
Yeah.
not like perfectly
You don't wanna skinwalk them.
trace. You don't want to skinwalk,
Yeah.
you don't want to trace their art. You like it's like the equivalent of like tracing
I
art.
know we've seen a
right?
bit
But
of
you-
our fair share of that over the last year or two, for sure.
Right. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. But
Not to me, no.
That's not it's definitely not what I'm like referring to.
Yeah.
I think it's like okay. I think there is this notion in not just the VTuber space, but in the content creating space in general. It I feel like it's kind of a no-no to take content ideas. It's a no-no to take content ideas that have already been done. And I think that's like, to me, and I'd like your thoughts on this. I'd
Yeah.
like to know if you like agree or disagree. To me, I think it's okay to imitate other people's content because it's kind of like art. You learn to imitate and then once you learn the process, once you
Yeah, you shouldn't necessarily steal people's skin, Evan. You can probably borrow
Kind
it,
of
but just make sure you give it back after.
learn how to do the art,
They kind of
then
need
you
that to
can
live.
create. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's part of the incremental growth. It's about the journey. You can't just like be original from the get-go. It's hard to be original from the get-go. Once you gain experience, once you kind of learn how other people do things, then you can kind of use that as a platform to be original. But not everybody is there, you know? And I kind of like that's kind of like my opinion is that it's okay to not know. And it's okay to figure
Nah,
it
I get
out
where you're going with that.
slowly. Yeah, like
I get where you're
do
going
you
with
have
that.
any
Like,
thoughts on
it's-
that?
Like in terms of doing the same activities, like I'd say that because there's going to be like 10 billion people doing React streams. Like let's just say let's just say that. I mean, that is kind of the reality of certain things. Like and you know when games start trending, a lot of people are going to be like, I mean, look how many people are playing Uma Musume right now. Not to say anything wrong with that. Like it's a good game in of. I haven't played it, but I know that there's quality there to it. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with people doing the same thing. It's just how they think that it'll appeal to people. Like, for example, or like how they try and appeal to people, I should say, is the phrasing. Because, like, let's say, for example, let's say, you know, two people are playing the exact same game. Person A is the example, is kind of the reference. Person B is the person that's trying to follow. If it's playing the same game in and of itself, that I don't see as a problem. But if they're trying to engage with the game the same way that the example person is, to the point where they're trying to like imitate them, so to speak, in terms of literally every I will say off the bat, there's a there was a streamer who kind of became a bit notorious last year, for I think it might have been last year and the year, I can't remember, but I know that's definitely last year. There was a particular streamer who became fairly notorious for becoming known as an imitation of Shy Lily, to the point where she would actually imitate her voice and her specific general setting. Let me just turn my dehumidifier off.
Oh.
Yeah, I got full HVAC in the space, but
Oh, also, could you check your DM super quick?
yeah. Sorry, let's take a peek here. Oh, sorry. I didn't really have that. So I didn't realize how much time already flew for that.
Crazy,
but-
right?
That's all good. But hey, it goes to show, like, you know, how much in depth you know, our conversations are good. It goes to show, you know, just how much of yappers we are, and I mean that in a good way, of course. So we should definitely. I think it is going to be kind of obligatory that for us to do a part 2 at some point.
I think we have a lot to talk about. I think
I agree.
it's fun.
It has been an absolute pleasure getting to chat with you today. Even if we technically didn't even get past the first question of the actual question sheet. But that's the thing. It's like I said, it gets to be a reference and not necessarily, and not that it has to be like a strict like a flow for how good things go. Just the opportunity to sit down with you. You're one of the people that I have been wanting the opportunity to kind of sit down with you and just like yap with for the longest time. So, you know, I'm happy with how that
you
opportunity.
thought of me and invited me.
100%, homie. It's a pleasure. And like, hey, I'm glad that you were able to take me up on my offer. But yeah, that being said, actually, I was gonna say, you know what? Let's just get we can we can get back. We can get on that topic another day because that's probably that's gonna be an entire segue in itself. But but let's just so I don't leave Vesper hanging there. Because I know Vesper, at least in terms of the couple topics ago, Vesper did ask if there are any commonalities that streamers might be overlooking. For example, I'd love to comment on the model positioning. I think many people forget that consider stream thumbnail point. I think a big thing is in terms of that is that I mean it's kind of those let's see. Sometimes people get caught up in what they may be doing wrong in terms of their like overall activity, that they forget that like, you know, little details like, you know, just moving something or just like you know, sometimes the smallest adjustments make the biggest difference is probably what I'm gonna say to that. And it's like that's why that's like, you know, why the biggest change in how you are the biggest growth in your time throughout your time as a streamer is the culmination of the little changes, little improvements that you make along the way. Not necessarily that you have to make any like major upgrades. I think that's the point that I meant to get to earlier. But yeah, it's like, so, you know, people that, you know, I think you need to overhaul your entire system every time you want to try and grow as a streamer. It's like, that's not true. It's like, you know, little things that you think of that you want to add to your stream to make things better along the way are what make the streams are the biggest factor that you can do to improve them. But the important part, like I said, is when you identify it and you actually implement it. Not just that you identify it and then you wait until like, oh, I need to change this thing or I need to change that thing, but I'm gonna have to wait until I can, you know, get a new model, want to do a full re-debut with all these features added in. It's like, no, it's like, you know, make it a cumulative update, kind of like with, you know, how Windows has fucking 10 billion updates every month or whatever.
Also, updating your model is expensive. Holy
Exactly.
shit. Like, oh my God.
Another reason why, like, you know, for one thing, I'm glad that I got the model because like I am perfectly happy with this model itself. The only changes that I make is I am getting one other outfit for it that I'll probably have ready by October, but that's the only change that I made to this model in like the year and a half that I've owned it so far. Yeah, surprise. You probably guess what it is. I don't even have to think I have to suggest that. But yeah, I'm not getting, I know some people have, you know, like, you know, I know it depends on people's budgets, accessibility, what have you, but like some people have, you know, 2, 3, 4 models before they're they're happy with it. It's like, I've already got the level of quality model that I want off the first model that I had. And I you know, couldn't be happier about that. And like, I'm thankful that I had the opportunity. Maybe.
I got you.
To the surprise of nobody. Exactly. Evan, that'll be another time, but definitely. But nah. Yeah, you got it. I think you know me well enough by now to know that.
I like to keep tabs on my mutuals. Like I like to see what they care about.
Well, hey, I appreciate being one of the people that you find worthy of keeping tabs on. So it is. I like yeah, the department's I do appreciate it. Sorry, but the irony here is that we got, it's like I feel we got to know a lot more about you, but at the same time we also didn't, because it's like we learned more about we learned a lot about you, but at the same time we just didn't tell people a lot about you outright, if that makes sense.
Barely scratched the surface. I'd like to think I'm a deep person. So I would like to think that there's a lot to explore.
What you lack in height, you make up for in depth.
Yeah, I would like to think that.
I see so. I find you genuinely. Yeah. Why can I not talk? I find you genuinely interesting, and I enjoy getting to learn more about you. I enjoy getting to talk with you. And I'm pretty sure those tuning in to do so as well. So, yeah, we'll definitely get to a part 2 at some point when we actually get to eventually answer more questions proper. But no, I am thankful that we had this opportunity today, and I couldn't be happier for being able to sit down and just yap with you.
Thank you for inviting me.
So it was an absolute pleasure. My pleasure, homie. That being said, though, that being said, as you are the for one thing, let's leave on the traditional question of, is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers before we go, and then we will get to the topic of rating out.
Have such a good rest of your day, whatever time zone you're in. Thank you so much for supporting Yanko and me. Drink lots of water.
Hydrate or dihydrate? Exactly.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
That being said, show some love, of course, to the wonderful Street Shoe for joining us here for today's Friday morning Truth for One. We'll definitely get a part 2 going because we got a lot more to talk about, to the surprise of, as you may be surprised of. But that said, though, who would you like us to raid to for today?
Ooh, I think Nova just started streaming.
How do you spell their full name?
I got you.
Thank you.
She is. Fun fact: she was actually the one that was like the catalyst. In terms of like giving me the final push I needed to start streaming. We were literally hanging out in Valheim off. We were just hanging out. It was off stream because she's a streamer, right?
Yeah.
And we were on the boat, and I was like, Nova, should I start streaming? And like with negative hesitation, she was like, yes, you would
Hell
be
yeah.
so good at it. And like,
And
I
lo
just,
and behold, chat, here she is right now.
I started tearing up because like she was so sweet. She was so supportive. There was just the negative hesitation and the enthusiasm was like just the push that I needed to like lock the fuck in, you know?
Mm. Totally get
I
that.
tell this story all the time. I love her so much. So I want to send some love her way.
Absolutely. Is she the one playing Grounded right now?
Yes.
Excellent. Also, side point, I just want to say, at least in terms of your model's appearance, before we head out, though, you know what your model really reminds me of?
No, what?
A2 from Nier Automata.
I get that a lot. Wait. Hold on. I gotta talk
You have
about
the
this.
sword.
Look
I know
at this
that
shit.
too.
Look at this
there we
shit.
go.
Like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like I literally it was unintentional. It just kind of happened that like it just kind of worked out this way. I could I think that might be a conversation for another time. Like all of the like
For sure.
disparate inspirations that culminated into this model's design. It just so happened to coincidentally be reminiscent of A2.
I love that though, because I mean, it is something that I do, especially when you break out the sword too. It's like it definitely, yeah, exactly. But it's like it just kind of suits you, which is interesting. But no, it's like I kind of had a feeling, but no, I appreciate you elaborating on that too, because I was kind of like, but yeah, we'll learn more about who. Yeah, speaking of the model and the Lord and we'll have to get to that another day for sure. But no, I think search you in general, you're just fucking adorable. I gotta say.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, we shall go to Novaline. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Y'all know what to do. Make sure to get some clipboards as per usual. And so today, this week, this week has been a little bit of a jumble, because we initially expected that we can have an out of town friend joining us for the weekend, so I did not have a formal schedule set up. However, I was originally informed that they will not be able to make it over, as they're just not feeling well enough currently at the moment. So impromptu stream tomorrow morning, a little bit later than usual, because I have some photos that I got edit, so that'll take up a bit of the chunk of the early morning. So I'll probably be on about 3 or 4 a.m. Pacific time. Sundays currently TBD, because we do have to plan. We have to figure out something we want to run for Sunday Squad for impromptu for that too. But I'll get something up. I'll get an impromptu schedule up probably pretty soon. So you will get to see more of me over the weekend, whether you like it or not. But if you want to see more of the lovely Suchi, of course, go check her out at her channel. Once again, I'm greatly appreciate. I am very happy to say that you're back again for one thing. So
We're so back.
we are so back, chat. Exactly. I'm really happy for you. Just want to say that. So thank you again for joining me here today. And yeah, thank you for coming back. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, but I'm glad to see that you're back and you're running again. So you deserve all the love you get from your time back in the streaming space.
Thank you.
But yes, now we're gonna go to I keep saying like 5 times gonna go right now. Let's just actually do the fucking thing. Oopsie. There we go. Raid has been committed. Raid has been created to Nova Lane and heading over shortly. That being said, remember, the world's your oyster, so make sure not to leave without a pearl necklace. See you all next time, chat, and Chiao for meow.
Bye-bye.
Kicking off your workday with a fresh-baked feline frenzy.
You're watching and listening to Nyongo Bongo Dongo.
Now let's get this bread.